Okay. You have a pen? I do. Bring an extra. Sure, just in case. Okay. Okay. Mayor, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for March 20th, 2025, to order at 7 o'clock p.m. On roll call, we have Council Members Fasolo,
Here.
Golubek,
Here.
Sampson,
Here.
Sheridan, Troisi, Council President Pellegrin, Mayor Coletti.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How is everyone out there doing this evening? A little more, come on. All right, that's good. Now we're all one. We have a very interesting evening planned here, especially the beginning. We'll be honoring somebody that has worked with this organization, this town, for 38 years, and I'll save the rest for when he gets here. But until we have his presence, let us all please stand for a prayer. That we're going to have Pastor Ron.
Eternal Father, thank you, Mayor. Eternal Father, the creator of heaven and earth, we welcome your presence in these chambers tonight. We thank you for the privilege of allowing us to gather here. Father God, we ask you to instill your wisdom and your love in our elected officials. Tonight we're going to be discussing many things that will affect your people. But God, we just ask you to keep everyone just and honorable. And Father God, we thank you for our town because we are a praying town and we are the recipients of your blessings and we will continue to honor you. We thank you, your majesty, and your dominion in your heavenly name. In Elmwood Park, we all say, Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor Ron. It's refreshing having you say the prayer as opposed to me. It's much more effective, and we thank you for that. Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey require at the commencement of every meeting a statement of compliance be read by the presiding officer. Now, therefore, be advised that the meeting requirements for this meeting have been met by publishing a special meeting notice in the Record and Herald News, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in a public place within the municipal building. Also, by notifying interested citizens, said notice was posted and transmitted on January 3rd, 2025, and published on January 8th, 2025. Shanae?
Yes. First up, we have approval of minutes. We have the January 23rd, 2025 regular meeting, the January 23rd, 2025 executive session, the February 6th, 2025 work session, February 6th, 2025 executive session, February 20th, 2025 special executive session, and the February 20th, 2025 regular meeting.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
First by Council President Pellegrin, second by Councilwoman Sheridan. On roll call, we have Council Members Fasolo,
Yes.
Golubek,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Troisi,
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, we're going to move to the budget introduction. Have resolution R-100-25, introduce ordinance number 25-06 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled Calendar Year 2025 Ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank, NJSA 40A:4-45.14, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, April 17th, 2025, at 7 o'clock p.m., or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it resolved that the Borough Clerk, being she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper, a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
So Sinead, the public will have the opportunity to speak in April on this, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. May I have a motion on the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
First by Council President Pellegrin, second by Councilman Sampson. On roll call, we have Council Members Fasolo,
Yes.
Golubek,
No.
Sampson,
Yes.
Sheridan.
Yes.
Troisi,
No.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. Golumback, would you care to qualify that no?
Regarding the budget and the cap bank,
Yeah.
I have not heard from the CFO of the Borough of Elmwood Park regarding the 2020-25 budget. I don't introduce budgets, I don't adopt budgets without having an opportunity for the council to meet with the chief financial officer about the financial status of the borough. I frankly think it's irresponsible to introduce a budget without having had that opportunity.
Would you care that we have a meeting with him beforehand?
I think that's like common sense, but I just don't know how we're introducing a budget without having a conversation with our CFO.
Okay.
You asked for the answer, so.
Yeah, no, that's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
I'm looking for, we passed the motion, I'm looking for.
Yes, motion
call the roll.
carried, and I called the roll. It passed.
Passed,
Okay.
okay.
Moving on to Resolution R-101-25, introduction of the 2025 municipal budget. Be it resolved that the following statement of revenues and appropriations attached hereto constitute the local budget of the Borough of Elmwood Park, Bergen County, New Jersey for the year 2025. Be it further resolved that the said budget be published in the record in the issue of March 26, 2025, and that a hearing on the budget will be held at the municipal building on April 17, 2025, at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter may be reached. Be it further resolved that the governing body of the Borough of Elmwood Park does hereby approve the following as the budget for the year 2025.
May I have a motion on the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
First by Council President Pellegrin, second by Councilman Sampson. On roll call, we have Councilmembers Fasolo,
No.
Golubek,
No.
Sampson,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Troisi,
No.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Okay, so I have 3 yes, 3 noes.
Before we go any further, though, I'd like to know why the council is not happy with this. What is there that is missing? Yeah, Pam.
I think there needs to be further discussion. This would be 2 years in a row, passing a double-digit increase onto the taxpayers. I just think there needs to be further discussion. It needs to be looked at harder.
Okay. Councilman?
I share the same sentiment. 2 years in a row. Is this on? It's 2 years in a row that we have a double-digit tax increase. And I agree with Councilwoman Troisi. It needs more discussion, it needs more analysis, and like Councilman Golubek said, we haven't had an opportunity to speak with the CFO. So my vote is no.
Okay, from what I understand, and being that we're in discussion with this, it's a pass-on. It's being passed on from Passaic Valley Water. And the other increase to that pass-on is for our, being that we own the pipes and the water system in town, that the upkeep of those pipes and the maintenance of them, along with the overtime on the breakage, that compensates for the balance of the percentage increase.
Mayor, we're not on the water part. We're still on the budget.
Yeah, well, that's,
We're on the budget, not on the water.
right, well, that's part of it, my point.
I
These
don't
are-
understand what the tax increase, we're talking about the budget. This is the introduction to the budget.
Right,
I think you're talking about two different things. He's talking about the portion of
Ma-
the budget impacted by
by the,
increase of Passaic
exactly, everything has an impact on it,
water ordinance was established.
yeah, okay.
And again, Mayor, just to go back, and that's, the numbers are the numbers, but this is not how this is supposed to work. We don't just get a budget an appointment with the auditor who, the auditor is good support, but we have a CFO. This is just how it goes. And the auditor's not, they're not a borough employee per se, right? They're a consultant to the borough and they audit the books after. So I have a problem with how this came together. And frankly, I probably wouldn't be saying anything if it was a standard, 2%, whatever, move it along. But Councilman Troisi is 100% correct. We're willing to just accept the second year of double-digit tax increases and just pass what's handed to us? It's lunacy, in my opinion.
Right. But my question to you is, why prior to this meeting, didn't you ask for more clarification?
Why before this meeting, I'm not entirely sure when I received the budget documents, but I mean, there's a structure and a process to this. I shouldn't have to strain myself to get answers or to get a basic conversation on the introduction of the budget. That's just municipal government should flow where the information, comes to us and we have the discussion. I shouldn't have to go seek it out. I mean, that's not a fair question.
Okay. Where are we at?
Tie vote.
It's a tie, you have to vote.
Call the roll, please.
You have to vote either yes or no. It's a tie.
So the vote comes across,
It's a tie, so you
So
have to
you break the
decide
tie, Mayor.
if it's, are you yes or no?
oh, yes. That was a tie, and I get the vote, and I voted yes.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, so after this, I'll have him. Notice is hereby given that the budget and tax resolution was approved by the mayor and council members of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, on March 20th, 2025. A hearing on the budget and tax resolution will be held at the municipal building on April 17th at 7 o'clock p.m., at which time and place objections to the budget and tax resolution for the year 2025 may be presented by taxpayers or other interested persons. Copies of the budget are available in the office of Shanae Morris, Borough Clerk, at the Municipal Building, 182 Market Street, Elmwood Park, New Jersey. Phone number 201-796-1457, during the hours of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Motion carries. Next item under the budget, we have Resolution R-102-25, and through you, Mayor, I would like to read this resolution by title only.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Okay. Governing body certification of compliance with the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's enforcement guidance on the consideration of arrest and conviction records and employment decisions under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
May I have a motion on the ordinance?
Resolution.
So moved.
I need a second here.
Second.
Okay.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
First by Council President Pellegrin, second by Councilwoman Troisi. On roll call, we have Council Members Fasolo.
I'm going to abstain.
Okay. Golombek,
Yes?
Sampson,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Troisi.
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, we're going to move to the portion of the agenda where we have our special retirement presentation being presented to Mr. Scott Cars. Mayor?
Yes. So it's with great pleasure this evening to stand next to this young man who I watched grow from an adolescence, a boy, into manhood. I watched his family grow. I watched him grow at the DPW from a laborer to the superintendent. And I also watched him grow as a human being. This man I'm standing next to is the personification of one giving it 100%. Whatever he's done, he's always gave it 100%, approached it that way. Sometimes he landed on 98, 97, but but that's not a bad score. And you add to that, and there's a lot of us here that have the love for this town. You put those two elements together, and you end up with a very successful young man. Mother, you did a hell of a job with him. And I know the dad is looking down now, and he's very happy for this moment. I have mixed feelings because I want to see him go ahead and advance and do what he wants to do. But then again, I know I'm going to miss him and miss his effort. But I know you've left a good regime behind, and it's all going to be well. So, with our deepest appreciation and honor of your dedication and 38 years of loyal service to the Borough of Elmwood Park, Scott Carrs, DPW Superintendent, a time to look back with admiration, a time to look forward with anticipation. Congratulations and best wishes on your retirement, Mayor Robert Coletti and council members, February 28th, 2025. Before you say anything, I've been here 6 years, never got a standing ovation.
When they were walking out.
Oh.
No, honestly, I 38 years, it's been a blessing to work for the community, my family. I mean, these are our stomping grounds, born and raised. I wouldn't have it another way. Under the administration of Chief Foligno, that just gave me my wings, let me fly. Mayor and council that has always given me everything I've asked for. They made my job easy. And again, you know, it's just, I'm blessed to have a wonderful career for 38 years under, you know, Mayor Coletti, and always, you know, Mayor Moll was always in the back of my mind. From a little boy, from when I made Eagle Scout, you know, he was there for me. When I got married, he was at our wedding. When my daughter was born, he was one of the first ones to congratulate me. Got me all the way up my ranks to, you know, to superintendent and director, and just blessed by, you know, the community. And just thank you. Thank you. I wouldn't have it any other way. If it wasn't 100%, it wasn't worth doing.
Council comments, we'll start off with you, Eric.
Scott, first of all, I want to comment that you look sharp. You look, no orange,
I wear clothes, but she said no more work.
no orange, no green. You look sharp. Very, very nice, sir. Also, I know you're a former fire chief, and I come from the emergency services end of it also, and I'm certain that you have an I Love Me wall already in your house, right? Somewhere in an office or a den. So hopefully you're going to reconstruct that or redesign that I Love Me wall and put that on the top of it. Sir, thank you for your dedicated 38 years of service, and Godspeed to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Scott, I just want to let you know, and no offense to the chief, but I don't think there's another employee that represents Elmwood Park more than you. We're definitely going to miss your knowledge, your experience, and your dedication to our town, because you were truly invested in the town and wanted to see the town do great things and really cared for the town. I know every time we had issues and any council member would call, you would be on the job right away. So I thank you for all your years of service and all your years to Elmwood Park as a resident, and good luck to you, and go on many vacations. Congratulations.
Councilman Goldbeck.
Thank you, Mayor. Scott, thank you. 38 years. It's incredible. You know, you live and breathe this town. And I said this years ago, I think, like, about Larry Castiglia once. Like, there's a certain amount of people, you can count on two hands, that like live and breathe this town, are lifers, but actually put their lives into the town. They don't just live here. So, I mean, working with you was a pleasure. No drama, no BS, just business, getting done what had to get done. And, you know, and again, you cared about the job because it was your town. So it was an absolute pleasure. Hope to see you around town, and I wish you and your family all the very best.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Tracy?
Congratulations on your retirement, Scott. long awaited, I'm sure. 38 years, that's an incredible achievement. Thank you for your dedication to the borough. It's very much appreciated, and I hope you enjoy a very long and healthy retirement with your family. I hope you do things that bring you joy and pleasure, and I wish you the best.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Sheridan?
Thank you, Mayor. Scott, thank you for everything. It's been a pleasure to be the DPW liaison. This is my third year. I've never had a problem, and if we did, it was a 30-second phone call, and we had it done. I mean, you're just great. Your family, your mom, we've been friends for a while. I mean, it's great family. Good luck, enjoy, and just keep on going.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Council President Pellegrin?
Yes. Congratulations, Scott. I want to thank you for the many years of hard work and the service to our community. You always went above and beyond your job description to serve our residents well. All you gave to our community was amazing. It was truly a pleasure working with you over all these years, and now it's your time to relax and enjoy your retirement with your beautiful family. You've certainly earned it. Wishing you much happiness and good health. And I want to say on a personal note, I know you many, many years. I know your family, all of you, many, many years. And you really are one of, in my eyes, I've been here since 2005 working with the council on all and the Board of Education, and you live down the street from me, and really you're one of the top people that have always worked so hard, so dedicated. You really care about our residents. You really care about the community you live in, and you really did make a difference in what you did the last 38 years. So from the bottom of my heart, it really is your time now to just relax and do everything that makes you happy and just enjoy the beautiful family that you have. God bless.
Thank you. Scott, go with Godspeed. We're going to allow the family now and the council to take pictures. We're going to have a short recess.
Okay, moving on with our agenda, I would just like to reestablish a quorum after our brief recess. On roll call, we have council members Fasolo,
Here.
Golubek,
Here.
Sampson,
Still here.
Sheridan,
Here.
Troisi,
Here.
Council President Pellegrin,
Here.
Mayor Coletti.
Here.
We have reestablished a quorum. Moving on to ordinances on first reading. We have Resolution R-103-25, reintroduce Ordinance 25-01 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to establish the Water Department of the Borough of Elmwood Park, Bergen County, New Jersey, to fix the rates and prices to be charged for the use of water and establish rules and regulations for the distribution, supply, use, and protection of said water and penalties for the violation of certain said rules and regulations. Be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, April 17th, 2025 at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter, as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the borough clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
May I have a motion on the ordinance, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll?
First by Council President Pellegrin, second by Councilman Sampson. On roll call, we have Council members Fasolo,
No.
Golubek,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Troisi,
No.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I'd go into this, but we've been through this already, so let's just move on.
Okay. Next, we have Resolution R-104-25, introduce ordinance number 25-07 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance to Appropriate an Additional Sum of $285,000 for the installation of synthetic turf athletic fields at Borough Park and by and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, New Jersey, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such additional appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds. Be passed and adopted on first reading. And be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, April 17, 2025, at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
May I have a motion on the ordinance?
So moved.
I need a second.
Get one.
Yeah, I'll second.
I have
We
one.
had
You had it, we have a second already. Any discussion?
Yeah, real quick, is the title just the title because we're continuing the project for, this is phase two?
This is,
Is this phase two or?
No, I believe this is the final payment for the turf that finally closed out. We were waiting on DEP that removed soil that had to be tested and cleared, and that was holding up the final payment, and this is the final payment for the turf.
the
Got it.
first phase.
Okay, thank you.
Any more discussion? Call the roll, please.
First by Council President Pellegrin, second by Councilwoman Sheridan. On roll call, we have Councilmembers Fasolo,
Yes.
Golombek,
Yes.
Sampson, Sheridan. I heard you. Troisi. Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have Resolution R-105-25, introduce ordinance number 25-08 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending section 7-19 through streets to add stop signs to East 55th Street be passed and adopted on first reading. And be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, April 17, 2025, at 7:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and she is authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
May I have a motion on the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question on this, too. This is for East 55th Street. Okay, now, how many stop signs are we putting up, and where are we putting them?
This is on East 55th Street.
So if you recall, at Council Corner, a resident who lives in that section came and pointed out that all of the avenues, 13th through 18th, if you follow me, they go out and they intersect with East 55th, which is along the railroad tracks, and they're all, intersections, and none of them had stop signs, which, I don't know why it was like that, but he's not wrong, and they should have stop signs there.
Excuse me.
So you're going to put up 5 stop signs?
You're putting them up, because I don't have the power to do
Well,
that.
yeah, all right, so we are putting up 5 stop signs.
Do you understand what the streets are?
Yeah.
So if you're coming down 13th Ave going to 55th Street, there's no stop sign there now. 14th, 15th, 16th,
Right.
17th, and 18th. So a person can just drive through that, right?
Go ahead.
If I may, I want. So the stop sign is actually on the avenue, not on 55th?
Yes.
Okay.
So just so I understand, right now, someone can drive down 13th, immediately make a left because there's no sign, and the other traffic can move as well, right? In theory. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, 2 cars could legally crash without doing anything wrong.
One of
Yeah.
them
The
stopping.
insurance company to figure out who was at fault.
Yeah.
If you have a stop sign that governs
Yep.
it, now you have a party to.
Got it. Got it. Yeah.
Any more discussion? Motion on the ordinance, please?
I have a motion. I can do roll call.
Roll call?
Okay, so first by Council President Pellegrin, second by Councilwoman Sheridan. On roll call, we have Councilmembers Fasolo,
Yes.
Golombek,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Troisi,
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have ordinances on second reading. Resolution R-106-25, introduce ordinance number 25-03 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance to Fix the Salary, Wage, and Compensation of the Officers, Employees, and Servants of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey for the year 2025," was introduced and passed in a meeting held on Thursday, February 20th, 2025, and that further consideration of this ordinance will be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same. Now therefore it be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance to Fix the Salary, Wage, and Compensation of the Officers, Employees, and Servants of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey for the year 2025," pass on final reading.
May I have a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Anyone from the public here to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance alone? If not, I'll close the public portion. May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
First by Council President Pellegrin, second by Councilman Sampson. On roll call, we have Council Members Fasolo,
Yes.
Golubek,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Troisi,
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R-107-25, introduced ordinance number 25-04 on second reading. Whereas a public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Amending Borough Code Section 7-37.3, Regulation for the Movement and the Parking of Traffic on All Other Private Property to allow for Title 39 enforcement at 41 Slater Drive and the adjacent access easement," was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, February 20th, 2025, and that further consideration of this ordinance will be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same. Now therefore it be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Amending Borough Code Section 7-37.3, Regulation for the Movement and the Parking of Traffic on All Other Private Property to allow for Title 39 enforcement at 41 Slater Drive and the adjacent access easement," pass on final reading.
May I have a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Anyone from the public here to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance alone? If not, I'll close the public portion. May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved. Second.
Call the roll, please.
First by Council President Pellegrin, second by Councilwoman Troisi. On roll call, we have Council Members Fasolo, Golubek,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Troisi,
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have Resolution R-108-25, introduced ordinance 25-05 on second reading. Whereas a public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, "Bond Ordinance to Authorize the Undertaking of Streetscape Improvements to Mola Boulevard, Phase 2, from Phillip Avenue to Broadway, and by and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $1,010,000 to pay the cost thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bonds, anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds," was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, February 20th, 2025, and that further consideration of this ordinance will be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same. Now therefore it be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, "Bond Ordinance to Authorize the Undertaking of Streetscape Improvements to Mola Boulevard, Phase 2, from Phillip Avenue to Broadway, and by and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $1,010,000 to pay the cost thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds," passed on final reading.
Mr. Foligno, this is grant money, is that correct?
Correct, Mayor.
Okay. And this will be the last section bringing us to Broadway, so the boulevard should be complete?
Negative. This completes from Linden Avenue to Broadway. We also have another grant, which hasn't started yet, the process, going
Okay.
the other way, south to Route 46, but we already secured that money.
So be one section, after this is complete, there'll be one section left to complete the boulevard.
Yes.
Thank you. May I have a motion to open to the public? Anyone from the public here to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance alone? Hi, Gladys. Name and address, please, and hit the red button so we can hear you.
Gladys Griskowitz, 256 Fensec. Is this in reference to the lighting, the posts?
The village lighting.
Okay, well, they haven't done the village, but I just heard that they're going to get a grant to do from Market to 46.
Yeah, when I say village lights, I'm just referring to
Oh, okay.
the name of the light
All right.
itself.
Oh, that's what it's named? I didn't know that.
Well,
So anyway,
I named it that anyhow.
I feel, and I know I spoke to quite a few people, that they are too close together. And it looks like 42nd Street when you drive down the boulevard. They're super, super bright. And I know that people had asked if they could be toned down to a warm white, and they can't be. So when they're placing them on, my way, are they going to space them out further so that we really need less? They're very, very bright.
I doubt if they're going to change the spec on it now, because there would be no continuity from what we have going forward. As far as the lighting goes, we got people that are complaining all the time that it's so dark in that area, we needed more light. So, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. We had to come up with a balance.
Because I'm close to the dentist who has his own set of lights, and it's bright there, whereas when you get to the railroad tracks, it's dark. So I'm just saying, they need to be spaced out. They are super bright, and they're just too close together, in my opinion. I was just wondering if they could, maybe spread them out. And even when you go down, you have a fire hydrant, so there's going to be different, do they go on both sides or on one side?
Both sides.
Both sides. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Gladys. Anyone else care to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance alone? If not, I'll close the public portion. May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
Second it.
Call the roll, please.
First by Council President Pellegrin, second by Councilman Sampson. On roll call, we have Councilmembers Fasolo,
Yes.
Golombek,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Troisi, Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have our consent agenda. We have the following resolutions. Resolution R-109-25, approval of payroll. R-110-25, approval of bills list. R-111-25, 2025 special temporary budget amendment appropriations. R-112-25, resolution authorizing tax exemption for disabled veteran, 70 Bellevue Avenue, Block 114, Lot 17. R-113-25, resolution to redeem third-party tax lien. R-114-25, resolution to enter into a interlocal service agreement for Special 3 law enforcement officers with the Board of Education Elmwood Park and the Borough of Elmwood Park. R-115-25, authorized release of performance bond. R-116-25, resolution for adopting changes to an existing deferred compensation plan pursuant to the final Internal Revenue Code, Section 415 Regulations, Pension Protection Act of 2006, the Heroes Earnings Assistance and Relief Tax Act of 2008, and the Worker Retiree and Employer Recovery Act of 2008. R-117-25, appoint informational technology consultant, Intrep Solution. R-118-25, authorized vacation buyback. R-119-25, authorized holiday buyback, Police Department, Michael Foligno. R-120-25, appoint full-time laborer, Department of Public Works, Ryan Katz. R-121-25, appoint full-time laborer, Department of Public Works, Michael Kristoff. And R-122-25, resolution to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion on the consent agenda. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
First by Council President Pellegrin, second by Councilwoman Sheridan. On roll call, we have Councilmembers Fasolo,
Yes.
Golombek, Sampson,
Yes.
Sheridan,
Yes.
Troisi,
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have one departmental report listed for approval. We have the Board of Health meeting minutes from January 13th, 2025.
May I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Mayor, this concludes my portion of the meeting. I will turn it over to you for council reports.
Council reports, let's start with Mr. Fasolo.
Progress, Mayor.
Councilman Sampson.
Thank you, Mayor. Beginning on the 12th, during the day, we had a Finance Committee meeting where we reviewed our vouchers and approved them as appropriate. That was with the Finance Committee, Councilwoman Troisi and Sheridan. We got that done on the 12th. Also on the 12th in the evening, we had a planning board meeting that I attended as a planning board liaison, and we discussed the remodeling of the Circle Break building. I'm sure a lot of people here have seen that it's more or less, I don't want to call it an eyesore, but it's abandoned, or definitely underused. So they're going to create a new 2-unit mini mall there. That's in progress. We had a fire department committee meeting on 3/19, and we discussed the first discussions about a Junior Fire Academy Expo, and we considered a date and some of the, we're in the initial stages and some interesting and unique attractions for that. We're putting that together piece by piece, and that's with Councilwoman Sheridan and Council President, Pellegrin. Thank you. Some other activities that I'm involved in the borough. We had a Elks officer installation on the 16th for Councilwoman Troisi and myself were installed as officers, and our newest positions in our officers at the Elks. And we had a regular meeting last night. We congratulations to Mr. Fasolo, Councilman Fasolo, who was our latest night, and we also welcomed Tanisha Dennis. She joined the Elks also. That was last night. And other than that, Mayor, progress.
Thank you, Eric. Councilman Goldberg.
Thank you, Mayor. I too want to congratulate my colleague Francesco Fasolo on joining the Elks organization. Heard it maybe wasn't unanimous, but that's okay, right? We're all entitled to different opinions. So I wish you well in that. And that's all, Mayor. Progress.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Sheridan.
Thank you, Mayor. The Elmwood Park Homeowners Association is going to Wind Creek Casino March 28th. Bus leaves at 10 o'clock, back approximately by 7. $50 for the trip, $35 back for a cash voucher. If you're interested, please call Linda at 201-982-4919. And then myself and Councilwoman Pam Troisi, we met with the geese lady. And we actually learned a lot, and I spoke to the chief about it, and we're going to get more information on hopefully redeveloping it. And actually, believe it or not, we did learn a lot, surprisingly.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
That's it.
Councilwoman Troisi.
I'll start with the rec update. Registration's open for their spring mini camp. Will run from April 21st through the 25th. The cost is $250 per child, and it does include a trip to Dave & Buster's and the Hawthorne Theater. The first responders will be playing an exhibition game on April 5th at 12 p.m. at the rec center. It's going to be the EPPD versus the EPFD. So hopefully some of you all will join us for that. There's going to be a pro wrestling event at the rec center held on May 31st. The proceeds are going to benefit Elmwood Park Wrestling, which will be being moved under the rec department. It It starts at, well, there's a meet and greet at 6, the bell rings at 7. Tickets are $25 at the door. You could purchase them in advance for $20. I have a lot of congratulations tonight. First, I'd like to congratulate the winners of the basketball divisions. Seton Hall won the Division I championship. Houston won Division II, and Knicks won Division III. I also want to congratulate Crew Soccer U8 for taking home the championship at the Saddlebrook tournament over the weekend. Let's see, what else? On May 18th, Elmo Park Bombers is having a bingo fundraiser at St. Philip's, the Apostle Church in Saddlebrook. It's bring your own food and drinks. The doors open at 12 noon and the first game starts at 1. Admission is $25. Let's see. I met with Chief Foligno, the DPW Director David Hayes, DPW Supervisor Mike McGilrath, and Rec Director Dale Faber Jr. at the site of the proposed community garden. They're going to begin work to prepare the site, tapping into water and power. So stay tuned for that. For my Board of Ed update, I would like to congratulate the Elmo Park Competition Cheer Lady Crusaders for winning second place at Nationals in Orlando over the weekend. I also would like to congratulate 5 middle school students, Evan Castellano, Juliana Gogrin, Varun Kamesh, James Pedagano, and Rohan Thacker. They helped make the middle school place third in this, the State of the Association of Mathematics Teachers of New Jersey's middle school mathematic competition. James Pedagano, he actually earned third place overall, and Varun earned second place. So a big congratulations to them. And then, and I want to pull this up because I want to read every word of this because it deserves to be read. I want to congratulate Madison Maldonado for being nominated for the Unsung Hero Award. So I'm just going to read the submission. It says, I'm thrilled to honor Madison Maldonado, whose resilience, dedication, and heart truly embody the spirit of the Unsung Hero Award. As a top-ranked student, she has balanced rigorous coursework and made incredible contributions to scientific research, with her lab work submitted to the National Center for Biotechnology Information, an achievement that speaks to her intellect and dedication to learning. But that's not what makes her truly remarkable. It goes beyond academic excellence. She volunteers at Hackensack University Medical Center every week, driven by her passion for nursing and her desire to help others. She serves as a peer leader, a member to the National Honor Society, and a student representative to the Board of Education, always using her voice to advocate for her peers and improve her school community. She describes herself as resilient and hardworking, but I would add another word, inspiring. Madison is the type of person who brings instant joy when she walks into a room and carries herself with grace. From the very first day I met her, it was clear that her kindness is a genuine reflection of who she is. Madison, I have no doubt that your dad continues to watch over you with pride, always admiring the incredible young woman you've become. We are also excited to see the impact you will continue to make in the world, using your passion for helping others to uplift and inspire those around you. Congratulations. So that's a big congratulations to that young lady. Gantner Ave is holding a bullying prevention event on Friday, April 4th at 3:45 in the Gantner Ave gym. The speaker is Brian Williams. And on Wednesday, April 2nd, the Elmwood Park Education Association is holding a Dress Down Day as a fundraiser for autism acceptance. The children can wear red and/or gold for a donation of $3. Progress, Mayor.
Thank you. Council President Pellegrini?
Yes, a couple of things, Mayor. My Board of Health update. They had their meeting on March 10th. Much discussion was had on their upcoming event, the 5th Elmwood Park Celebrate Seniors. Save the date, October 4th, 2025. Flyers will be posted soon with all details for the event. The Spring Rabies Clinic for Dogs and Cats will be held on May 14th. Location, Firehouse Number 4 on Mola Boulevard. Time is 5 to 7 p.m. And their next meeting will be April 14th at 7 p.m. Location, Borough Hall. Police update. They're now hiring EMTs part-time. Weekends are required, $28 per hour, work up to 28 hours per week. For more information, call 201-796-0700, extension 1025, or email aingui@elmwoodparknj.us. The IFTAR event. Come join us this Saturday, March 22nd from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. for the dinner. Come enjoy good food and celebrate community. Location, Recreation Center in the gym, 500 Mola Boulevard, Elmwood Park. All are welcome to attend. RSVP to Police Chaplain Muhammad F. Alali via text at 973-444-6154, or you can email him at mhmdlfiali55@gmail.com. The new Elmwood Park Chamber of Commerce update. On Tuesday night, March 18th, they had their monthly meeting hosted by Spencer Savings Bank. Much discussion was had on upcoming events. Tonight, in our public portion, which is coming up next, Joe Oswald, President of the Chamber, will speak about the upcoming events. Their next meeting will be held on Tuesday, April 15th, at our local VFW at 6:30 p.m. This meeting will include a grant workshop from the NJEDA and New Jersey SCORE. For more information, call 551-500-7810. All are welcome to attend. And then, one more thing. This happened today, so I just want to read this one thing. This is for the Residents Assistance Program. We have a pantry. Our pantry director is Angela Fava. She works with the county on a regular basis, and they really like Angela's work, and they love our pantry. They said it's a great model to share with others. They like the way we run it. They visited it, and they come to our events, and they're very happy. So this morning, Angela got this email, and I'm very proud of her, and I'm proud of our program. It says, "Good morning, Angela. On behalf of the Office of the Food Security Team, congratulations on your appointment to the Office of Food Security Advisory Board. We are looking forward to working with you and working toward achieving true security, food security here in Bergen County." So it's very prestigious to be a part of that community and that group, and now we're on that and we're in it, and that will help our residents even more than it already does. So I'm very proud of her, I'm very proud of our program, and that was a nice surprise for her today and for all of us. Thank you, Mayor. Progress.
Thank you.
Mayor, before you go, I just want to say one more thing that I remembered as everybody was talking. A few weeks ago, there was a wrestling tournament at States, and Kiana Alvarez, a student from Elmwood Park, placed, and Elmwood Park hasn't placed in the wrestling tournament at States for quite a while. I had a few parents reach out to me, and they told me that they're trying to build up the program again. It's kind of been a little dormant for a little while, and I think it would be great if this council invited Kiana here at the next public meeting, and we honor her for placing at States. If the whole council's happy with that or allows that, I would like us to show our appreciation for them building up the program, and also Kiana for placing at States. I know I talked to the chief a little bit about it, but I wanted to bring it up here tonight.
Okay. I want to speak a little about the budget here. our control spending has not increased. What has increased by $2 million are these items. Insurance, employee group health insurance, $953,000, out of our control. Recycling program, $260,000 plus, out of our control. Garbage and trash, $221,000, out of our control. Pension, out of our control, $303,000. So, and there's some of the miscellaneous here. You put that all together, that's the reason we're going to have this tax increase. Our auditor did say to us tonight, we had a meeting prior, that next year is going to look a lot better. We're still rebounding from the $2 million that we got from the American Rescue Act, and we're not getting no longer, so we had to adjust everything. This year is typical of last year, but next year it should get better. May I have a motion to open the floor for the public comments? Anyone from the public here to speak on any subject whatsoever?
Hello again. Gladys Griskowitz, 256 Fensack Avenue. I'm one of 4 neighbors that are here today. This issue encompasses Fensack, Cole, Rudolph, and probably beyond. Lorraine helped us out the first time, but it's gotten worse. The house on 30 Cole Street. I have pictures. It's literally a garbage dump, and there are rats. And they will speak. They're very upset on the condition. I don't know how long it takes to evict someone, but she's taking the eviction notices and ripping them up. And I know it takes a long time to evict someone from their home. Not that I want to see that happen, but this woman is, I have pictures here. There are 50 garbage bags full of garbage in her backyard that have now broken. I don't know how the fence got broken, but now it's coming onto the driveway. And there are rats. There are rats up near me now. And this house is around the corner, and across the street from Mario, and of course, you know, right next door to these 2 other people. They can't open their windows. It's just, the stench is beyond bearable. And it's, you know, we're getting into the summer months. So I know that, Lorraine, you had told me that once it gets into the hands of Bergen County, Elmwood Park doesn't have a say, but we have to have a say. I mean, we pay taxes, they pay taxes, you know, it's, I mean, I don't know what the next step
Gladys,
is.
has anybody report this to
Yes.
our
Oh, yes.
building
yes.
department?
Harut has, I don't know how many complaints. Harut, he's not here right now. He lives on at the end near me. Mario, have you complained? Yeah, come up with All right, let me
No,
finish.
well, one at a time. She has to be
I have
finished.
to finish.
I know all the details.
Okay, he knows the details, so let me finish.
A couple of minutes, sir.
I'm going to finish and just say that my sister came out to throw garbage out the other day. Well, it was 2:30 in the morning, and I yelled at her, "Why are you out so late?" And a big rat ran across the street. So they're up near me. I mean, I know they're everywhere, but I've really never seen a rat. I've seen mice, but this is a rat. So, you know, I'm just hoping
No,
that.
we don't relish
Someone
that. I hear you loud and clear. Okay.
Mayor, I have a question. Has the Board of Health been notified?
Lorraine, did you, no, I think you did.
This was a while back that I
Right.
talked to you. How long ago?
Ugh.
Yeah,
Last year.
last year, yeah, because I'm saying that was quite a while.
And then, but it took a while for, the Bergen County sent a bunch of men down, and it took them hours to clean out that yard.
I
And,
haven't heard from you about that anymore.
yeah, well, I didn't know, I thought it was nipped in the bud, but obviously it's not. And I spoke to, you know, someone, I don't want to say their name, but they said the inside of the house is just as bad as the outside, and told them that they needed to clean it up, that it was a hazard, a safety hazard. But I don't know what went on from there, but it's bad. It's very, very bad. So I'm just hoping that before I have rats, I don't want a rat in my house. So,
Through you, Mayor, we can go back to the Board of Health and
Okay.
report it. We'll report it again. You said it was
30
Cole
Cole.
Street. Okay, we'll start with that process all over again.
Okay, because I have the pictures here. I know they have pictures of the just bags of garbage that, now, why not throw it out in the front, but she throws it in the back, so.
Well, Shanae's the secretary to the Board of Health, so she's going to make phone calls tomorrow, and you're going to talk to the building department again?
I don't think it's a Board of Health issue. This should
It's
start
a
with
s-
our building department.
But it is in a way, because it's
rats.
It's safety, right?
It sounds like there's ordinance violations. We handle that.
You want to do that
And it's
first?
not even on the assignment tracker, so I don't know who was notified there, but they have no record of it. I just looked at the.
Who
at
doesn't
the
have a
report.
record of what?
The building department has no record of this complaint. Not for 2025.
I know that Harut, I don't know his last name, I know he's come down and filled out a lot of complaints. I don't know who he filled them out with.
Okay, well, we're aware of it now. We'll consider it now a complaint.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Your name, please, and your address?
Excuse me, Mario Ferrantino,
Like
237,
Rudolph Valentino?
Mario Ferrantino,
Oh, okay.
237 Rudolph Avenue. I'm right across the street from the place. The place, they cleaned it up 6 months ago because I live right over there. They don't throw no garbage out, period. And the woman, she wears diapers because she's very heavy. And all the garbage goes in the backyard. And they didn't throw it out for a year one time. Now they clean it up, but the town came, the Board of Health came, because the Board of Health could go in. The town can't go in the house. The Board of Health could. So they did that 6 months ago, and they cleaned everything out. 14 men, because I live right over there, 14 men taking the stuff and throw it in a truck. 14 men for 3 hours. Okay? So that was it. And then all of a sudden, again, it's about 6 months, they do not throw the garbage out, period. And it's all day. But now you could see it's got 6-foot fence, and you could see the garbage because they throw everything out. And they got 3 dogs also.
3 dogs.
3 dogs, and they all go in the backyard. I was a landscaper forever. I cut the grass in the front. I don't go in the back. I live right over there. I do to stay in shape. Anyway, and there's a car parked 6 months without moving in the front. I mean, the town, they got to do something about it. The police department, they got to do something about it. How long that car could stay there? When the guy comes to clean the street, he cannot clean the street. I got one on one side and one on the other side. They don't move it, so he cannot clean the street.
Sir, did anybody report that to the police about the car not moving?
Excuse me?
Did anybody report that to the police?
I was trying to be a nice guy. I'm serious. It's 6 months. Before that was about a
You
year.
said, are we going to do anything about it?
Excuse me? Excuse me?
You said, are we going to do anything about it? How would we know if you didn't tell us?
Oh, you're right on that. You're right on that.
Yeah, we'll take care of it tomorrow.
Okay.
What's the address?
30 Cole.
It is 34?
30 Cole.
Can you give us info and we'll get the description of the car and we'll take care of it?
I'm serious. 6 months with the snow, we clean the street, they don't move. One on one side, another one on another side. I'm right on the corner. And then they got a big sign, no parking when it's snow. There's a Jeep over there, the whole winter, did not move it. Where's the police department?
Probably got a ticket.
I'm serious now. You people got to make money. Give them big fines and they got to move out. I'm sorry. I'm telling you the way it is. And when they clean the street, I come from Brooklyn, I come from Long Island. When they clean the street, 2 hours, there's no parking, period. Now, the guy who cleans the street, he goes like this. In and out, and he makes the street more dirty. That's what I had to say. I'm not joking either. I come from Long Island, I come from Brooklyn. Brooklyn, a double park, you're allowed. This is where they could clean the street for 2 hours. Mario, shut up. That's it.
Gracias, senor.
I'm not joking either. Thank you.
Anyone else care to speak? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ilda Mio. I live right next to the
In the
street,
microphone, please.
245. Pardon?
In the microphone.
Of course. It's 245 Rudolph I'm right close to this, next to the street. It's the house in the corner. I'm one house up. So Mario has been having a big problem because he also loans around, so he knows everything. But I can tell you that it's been 2 years, and I'm the first time ever that I'm being here to make a complaint, because I'm kind of a private person. I don't want anybody to bother. I don't want anybody to complain about it. But if you have an idea of a dead horse in August, how it smells, that's how it smells. Last year it was impossible because my side of the house, when we have the bins and also the air conditioners outside, is close to that. I have 2 cats. Last year I have to go buy probably $100 product in 3 months, pellets for mice, traps, everything you can think about it, all the corner of the house, because you could see mice coming around like in films, like in cartoons. That's about it. And last year I got one inside my kitchen. It was literally 1 month. I was sterilizing my kitchen every day. And my husband, we cleaned the garage and everything. My husband yesterday told me that we have mice in the garage again, even after all the products I'm putting. Not only that, but I like to garden. I stay outside all the time. It's impossible to move on the side of the house, even now that it's winter, because it smells like rotten garbage. And may I remind everyone that the mice and the rats also carry a lot of viruses. It's not only in my house, it's going to be a problem in the neighborhood. You know the Gene Hackman story, unfortunately, the dead wife that carried that virus. So I have 2 cats only. I let them outside on my backyard, but I don't want to have a poison for the cats, because there's a lot of other animals that come. I don't want to poison other animals if they go through the pellets that I buy for the mice. So it's a health issue, not for me or my 2 neighbors up and down. It's a health issue probably for all 3 of the blocks, because you can see literally the rats. I have a picture if you want. It was funny. My cats were playing with rats. So what can I say more than that? I mean, it's a health issue, not for me only. It stinks. If you come to my house, I'll be glad to have any of you come to my house. You cannot go. August is horrible. They use probably like those sprays to put the smell down. It doesn't go away. No. You just cannot go away there. And I have pictures, because my backside of the house, you can see the deck. For right now, you have probably 20 garbage bags there, right there, sitting for weeks.
Okay, dear.
So
we get the picture.
No.
We get the picture.
But you don't get the smell of it. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
And that was pretty good. Now, we're aware of the situation, and I'm sure our VA is going to be on that first thing tomorrow morning. I don't know if you'll see anybody there, but we'll go through the proper procedures of what we have to do. Yes, sir. May I get up? Yes, you may. You only get 5 minutes this time. You got 10 last time.
I got to give you my name again?
No, we know who you are.
Okay, anyway, make a long story short, I walk 6 miles every morning. I'm 83 years old.
6 miles?
And 2 in the afternoon, it's 8. So I know the whole neighborhood.
Wow.
Winter time, I do my snow on the corner, because I do the sidewalk. I do the whole thing nice, clean. Then when the plow comes, the plow for the snow comes, it goes a little too fast, and it throws all on my sidewalk again. I did snow for 45 years. All he's got to do, go a little bit slow, and I would not get on the sidewalk. Over and over. And then they block the crosswalk. Where you cross, they block it with the snow. There's no reason for that.
No,
There's no reason for that.
But when you got a situation like that, they do the same thing on my corner. They have to put the snow somewhere.
No, you see, I say I did the snow for 45 years. With the plow, you could just put it on the side. You don't have to block the walk, the side, where you got to cross.
But, Senor, if we can complain about everything. We've got 20-man DPW, you gotta understand. And when it comes to the plowing, we get some complaints, but you know what I do? I take my snow blower out, and I clean my corner, and I clean my neighbor's corner, and I clean the other corner.
Slow down. But how do you feel if I clean and then all of a sudden he comes and he messes it all up again?
I would feel very bad about that.
Thank you. Case is closed on that.
That-
But do not block the crosswalk.
Yeah.
There's a way to do it. All you do, push it a little bit on the side, and the crosswalk is clean. Come on, all over the town. I walk 8 miles a day. Thank you so much.
God bless you, 8 miles, that's 83? Bravo. Anyone else care to speak? On any subject whatsoever, you have a 10-minute maximum?
Good evening. My name is Joseph Oswald, 34 Phillip Avenue. I am coming on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, of which I am the president. I would like to thank Lorraine Pellegrin for inviting me to give a more in-depth update of what the Chamber has been doing over the past year. I know I came before this council about a year ago with Lorraine's help to simply say that we were starting this, and now we are a real big chamber, and we're a big happy family. We're filling up rooms. We're having good networking events. Almost every month we're having programming. I came tonight because I wanted to point out a few benefits that may actually help some people in this room if you're a small business owner. There are a number of grants that are still available through the state, through the NJEDA and Department of Consumer Affairs. These are non-competitive grants, which means if you own a business and you've paid your taxes and you're on the good with the state, you will get this money if it is still available. It might take some time, but you will be able to get it. I have here a list of these grants, which I will make available to anyone. And if anybody would like my contact information, I'm happy to give you a card, and I can forward all this information via email. One of the most important ones I think that some people in Elmwood Park would appreciate are the Small Business Improvement Grant, which is a 50% reimbursable grant up to $50,000. So if your business has done anything, you put in a wall, you bought a desk, redid your HVAC, did some new lighting. Maybe you're a restaurant and you put some tables in, or you fixed your air conditioning unit. You go back, you look back, bring the receipts, they'll give you 50% of it, up to $50,000 in cash, right to your bank account. They mail you a check. There's a lease grant. This grant is meant to keep commercial businesses in the spaces which they currently occupy, or to guarantee that if they do sign a lease, that they'll stay for multiple years. And this is 20% of your lease back in cash for 2 years. And so they'll give you back whatever your monthly lease is, 20% of it every month, and they'll give you a check every year for that. Basically 2.5 months free. If you're about to purchase a commercial property, maybe you're leasing right now, but you want to upgrade, you really love Elmwood Park, and you want to buy that spot, $50,000 towards closing costs. These are non-competitive grants. They are grants. You don't pay them back. They're not loans. If you are going to be staying in Elmwood Park specifically, because that's what I'm advocating, then there is money for you, and it is still there. There's an e-commerce grant which will help build you a website. So they will get a group of people that they have, I think, 11 certified IT people that will build your website, build you an app, get you online, and make you digitally ready. Those are just some of the few benefits that we started off with the Chamber letting people know. We have a couple of events coming up, and we are trying to make sure that our events always benefit someone in the community as well as ourselves, if we can. The first one that we have, Councilwoman Pellegrin actually mentioned our next month's meeting is an NJEDA grant workshop. So all these grants, there will be a SCORE volunteer there to walk you through the process one-on-one. So if you need any help walking through the process, it is pretty easy. It's paper intensive sometimes, but if you need help, there will be someone there. Sunday, May 18th, thanks to Borough Administrator Chief of Police Feligno, we thank you so very much for securing a route for our 5K and 1 mile strut. This is going to be a walk for charity and a run for charity. The proceeds will benefit the New Elmwood Park Chamber of Commerce, and the Board of Directors will be designated a Cancer Research Society as the beneficiary of this fundraising. The 5K is eligible, anybody 10 and up. Minors will need a parent's signature. It's a $20 registration fee or $65 fee for teams of 2 to 4 people. But basically, the route will be meeting behind St. Leo's Church at the corner of Hillman and Tuella, and they will be running 5K. I forget the conversion in math. I think it's 3.25 miles or something like that.
5K?
I haven't been to Europe in a while.
Joe, 5K?
Yeah. It's 3.2 miles? Yeah. So it's about approximately 3.2 miles.
Why don't you sign him up?
You want, you got I got a registration form for you right here, Mario. I already know your name. We can have Team Mario, and we can have a team of 4 people. It's only $65. You get a little discount to register.
Tell him.
On top of that, we can have, maybe the fire department, maybe the police department wants to run a team. We will have volunteers. This is not a sports sanctioned event. These are all volunteers. Nobody's going to be standing there with a stopwatch and a camera. It's all in good fun. And the 1 mile walk will be for anybody who would prefer just to walk, wants to walk with their kids, stroller, dog, whatever you choose. You're going to be on one side of the street, the 5Kers on the other. I have registration forms here, or I can also send them via email to anybody that's interested. Furthermore, this is the route right here if you wanted to look at it more in depth. One of the last events I wanted to talk about is going to be something I think everybody in Elmwood Park would appreciate, and I'm hoping that the mayor will do me the honor of being a guest judge for a Best Pizza in Town contest, which we will be holding hopefully June 17th. We will be looking for a venue that can hold us. I'm going to be reaching out to the rec center to see if that's possible. We're going to be inviting pizzerias from the entire town of Elmwood Park, including a little bit of Garfield and Saddlebrook, because I still order from some of them too. I like to spread the wealth. We expect maybe 100 to 200 people, and what's going to happen, it's going to be like a tricky tray. You're going to get $10, it's going to buy you a ticket into the event, 5 tasting tickets, 5 People's Choice tickets. You're going to taste the ones you like, and if you want, you can throw all your People's Choice tickets in there. You can split them up. You can come up to me and buy a whole sleeve and support your favorite pizzeria. Much like a tricky tray, we will be giving out those awards. There will be 8 award categories, one of which will be the Judge's Choice, which we have invited Councilwoman Pellegrin's husband also, and I will be, yes, reaching out to David Portnoy to see if he will come. And if he does not come, then our esteemed Councilman Sampson will be filling in as well. So there will be that judge for one of the grand prizes. There's also going to be best crust, best sauce, best innovative topping, best plant-based option, further, things like that. We're hoping to get some sponsors that will pay for a majority of our requirements, and 50% of all the proceeds will be going towards the Residents Assistance Pantry, and that is in addition to September, where we will be hoping to have our 2nd annual March to Stomp Out Hunger. Last year, we marched in the rain, so I'm positive there's nothing that can be thrown at us this year that will stop us. Right now, the Chamber of Commerce has approximately 40 members, half of which are dues paid, and 4 have joined in the past month. Approximately 2 join every month, it would seem, on record for us. We do have a newsletter and a mailing list, which goes out to about 80 people. Most of them are just the businesses, but we like to keep people informed on what's going on. So I'll now, going forward, be putting up paper copies of our meeting reminders, which are the 3rd Tuesday of every month, 6:30 p.m., unless otherwise noted. We invite all of our members to host us. We would love to change our meeting time to have maybe a morning one at a local cafe or bagel shop. So if anybody out there is listening on TV or in the audience wants to discuss any of this with me further, I will stick around, and I have my card with me. And I'll also be speaking at the Homeowners Association meeting next Wednesday, 7 p.m. at the Senior Center, along with a couple members of the Chamber. We're going to be basically pitching all the things that we do as the various members. Maybe we'll have some giveaways, things like that. So I hope if you have any intent to interact with me, that you will find me either today or on one of those events. So I appreciate the council's time. I appreciate the Borough Administrator's help in working with me for the 5K, and Pastor Ron for recently becoming a new member of the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Joe.
Are you bringing pizza next week?
We appreciate your endeavor with the chamber and the members that are keeping it together. It's a vital aspect of our environment, our town, and hope it grows, and grows. Final note, if there's anybody else care to speak? No? Final note, guess what month this is? What? It's Women's History Month. Well, how come there's no applause for the women? Come on. So what is Women's History Month? A celebration of strong, dedicated women ensuring equal rights to men. Ladies, you certainly have achieved that goal. I ask you to just look up on this dais, and when you talk about equality, you can see how in this town, how we appreciate our women, and they equal the men. The only lopsided, no, there's 4 and 4.
No, the men are the majority up here, if you count them.
Well, they're on the lower level. They're on the lower level. We're on a higher level up here. But it's a great thing. On a personal note now, I love women. Well, think about this. I love women. My mother was one. My grandmother was one. My wife is one. My daughter is one. So I'm very happy that they were women. Otherwise, if my mother wasn't a woman, I wouldn't be here. So in any case, we are celebrating the Women's Month history. And ladies, thank you for being who you are. I think there's not too much left of that glass ceiling to break through. We had a vice president that was a woman, right? And a lot of our Congress and Assembly are women. I think the days of where it was lopsided are coming to an end. There's more people, more women in politics than they are men, or at least going into it, as opposed to men going into it recently. So it's a good thing. All right, that's all I got. May I have a motion to go into executive? We have one item in executive. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss attorney-client privileged information, minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be it resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting.